Hello, everyone that might be watching on YouTube. My name is John Lobdell. I do a poetry reading every Wednesday for some friends of mine on Zoom, and then I put it on my YouTube channel. So if you're listening to that, you're welcome, and like and subscribe. So I like to start with a little body-mind centering, which I do by rubbing my hands till they get a little bit warm. This is from the Rumi Bodywork Kenyon. Put them right over your eyes. Take some big breaths. And a couple more times. My glasses. So let's start with a poem from my new book. Not so new anymore. This one's called Home. It's in 5 parts. Home, number 1. I've been searching everywhere for the light lost, the time I knew why I'm here. Year after year I'm looking. Then with a sigh I let go and unexpectedly I'm there. I realize it's not a time or place. A moment opens up inside me, and God, who I've been seeking out there, is here inside with me. And I know we'll never be parted again. But out of habit I want to write about it. Then I'm the old one writing a poem about the past. Number 2. Driven by the urges of the moon, the wave climbs out of the flat ocean. It reaches and reaches until it is filled with light. But obeying the laws of the earth, it begins to fall. Crashes down into the remains of mountains. Crashes down into the broken shells of lives lost. Recedes into the dark dreams below. Number 3. I took my brother's ashes to his beloved beach. As I released him back to the earth, I was surprised they weren't ashes at all, but the ground up remains of his bones. That which couldn't burn. The ocean breeze blew some of the dust to my face. I inhaled some of my brother, dust to dust. Time takes what is its own. Light keeps shining on the waves. Number 4. The salmon living in the wide ocean feel the urge to return, to swim up the wide rivers to the narrow creeks of their birth, past fishermen and hungry bears, over tumbling cataracts. Their desire pushes them forward, or is it backwards? It is this desire that is the lifeblood of existence, a combination of love and destiny, urgency and wonder. Number 5. The poet puts down his pen for a moment, knowing he forgets in order to remember. The great cycling of the universe purrs like some great engine. There will always be a beginning and an ending in time. This very constancy shows us the timeless is our real home. Okay. Let's see. Looking My old cat looks at the sparrow on a branch, but he's not scrunching his butt ready to pounce. His hunting instinct has receded with age. He's merely looking. Cats love to look at everything. I too enjoy looking at the world with my creative eye. My girlfriend used to say I was like a lizard, sitting still and looking, but she said it affectionately and with some envy. Having astigmatism, she never knew the joy of looking out at the distance. The finches in the pear tree also look out over the world. They nervously bob their heads up and down and side to side. It took me a long time to learn how to come behind my eyes. Now I can feel a part of what I'm looking at. I realize how separate I was. I don't know if the cat and the finches feel separate, but I'm pretty sure they don't imagine being separate. Yogananda once said, God so loved us that he gave us the ability to deny him. I suppose he meant God gave us the supreme joy of finding him. It took me a long time of looking for him out there before I realized I could only see him in me. Solid ground. Reading the news of the day, it feels like we reside in an ignorant ocean. Dark tides wash us to and fro endlessly. And worst of all, when we try to walk out, we are thrown back by the backwash of fearful obsessions. For moments, our head pops up out of the confusion, like a survivor grasping onto some wreckage of lost lives. We can finally see the sun and wonder why. This question burns in some. They begin to see the only escape is upward. The seabirds are too small to carry us. Finally, we let go of logic of mind and ask for help from what we know not. It is then the heavenly wings carry us to shore. Standing now on solid ground, we can feel our own existence and see our place in the universe. A drop in an ocean of love. Okay.
Very deep.
Yeah. It's a deep ocean.
I meant the thoughts, not the ocean.
Yeah. I got kind of tired. I think I got kind of tired of writing those deep poems. Maybe that's I'm not writing any poetry. I should just write some silly stuff. Might suit my mood better now.
I think it's the weather.
Yeah, it's true. In summertime, it's a little harder to write.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, you wrote one about your daughter, didn't you?
Yeah. Her birthday was Monday.
Oh, cool. I wish I had things like that to write about. I kind of had stepson for a while, but he was already 12 by the time I knew him.
I was a month shy of 17 when I had her.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was a baby having a baby.
Baby having a baby, yeah. Wow. So she's not a daughter of that husband you talk about, right?
No.
Yeah.
I was married to her father 8 years.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a long time. Cool.
I had short-term relationships.
8 years is short. I don't know. Too long to me. I think I've always just been my own baby. Okay, let's read your poem. This is from Glenda. It's called Daughter. Soft baby arms about my neck. Little whispered words in childish glee. You fit in my lap so perfectly. Warm, fragrant love pressed against my heart. Remember bright eyes on Christmas morn. Remember picture books for serious study. Remember dependence for scars and gloves. Climb in my bed when Daddy was gone. Bright colored pictures of important display. Learning words and thoughts to share. Sweet little face pressed close to my own. A part of my body, half of my soul. That's beautiful. A part of my body, half of my soul. Too soon away to school to travel, emptying my arms, disciplining my heart, watching to see a familiar form run to greet me with news of knowledge just gained. Johnson & Johnson to fight away tears, damp little memories to hold through the years. Owner of my heart with keys to my soul. Where are the braids, the ribbons and bows? A sweet cherished person to hold and protect. I hold in my thoughts as vulnerable, but yet I'll never know again a small head on my heart. I ache for a small little girl in my arms, who smiled with her heart and trusted with her soul, and fit me so perfectly, and loved me so well. That is just lovely.
Thank you.
I feel like I had a daughter. Cool.
That makes me feel really good when you said that. Thank you, Barbara.
Oh yeah, Barbara. Yeah, she has a daughter. She's quite close to her daughter. You have your cat, John. Yeah, that's true. Little bastard.
I even had a long-term relationship with a dog.
Yeah, yeah.
13 years. 13 years I had her.
Oh yeah. I think my cat's about 13. It's funny, when he was little, he hardly knew how to meow or make a noise. Now when he's older, he makes this yowling noise. It's like, God, it's scary. Gets me up at 6 every morning. All right. Oh wow, Brenda has a cat. Lived to 21. Oh my gosh. Well, I have a deal with my cat that I won't die before he does. I don't want him to have to find a new neurotic owner. I suppose if you read some more poetry. Let's see what I got here. I got a Rumi. This is called There's Nothing Up Ahead. Lovers think they're looking for each other, but there's only one search. Wandering this world is wandering that, both inside and one transparent sky. And here there is no dogma and no heresy. The miracle of Jesus is himself, not what he said or did about the future. Forget the future. I'd worship someone who could do that. On your way, you may want to look back or not, but if you can say there's nothing ahead, there will be nothing there. Stretch your arms and take hold the cloth of your clothes with both hands. The cure for pain is in the pain. Good and bad are mixed. If you don't have both, you don't belong with us. When one gets lost, is not when one of us gets lost, is not here. He must be inside us. There's no place like that anywhere in the world.
Hmm.
I think I heard Coleman Bark read that one time. Whenever I hear him in my voice, in my head, I hear this like that Georgia drawl of his. Just kind of weirdly becomes synonymous with Rumi these days. What else did I find? Here's one from somebody named with a great name, Rigoberto Gonzalez. I don't know, but called Summer Songs. It's appropriate. The rain, of course, as it dings every leaf on the eucalyptus. What was it doing there on the U.S.-Mexico border, so far from its native lands? You might have asked your grandmother that question. She too, so far from home. She too, singing in her beloved Purupecha tongue. Midorash Kandahush Nirash Inguia. Imagine that's some Latin American, Native American tongue. Again, I'm going to sit and drink. Drink what? The rain, the sorrow of thirsting for sounds that take us back among our own kind. Is this why she sat beneath that tree all day, sweating in the heat, to water the soil, to plead to the tulips? They too displaced. Grow, grow, grow. Oh, desperate wish. If they didn't burst, open all spring. Not a chance in July. Then again, who would have guessed a tree from Australia befriending an indigena from the mountains, here in the arid and dry Sonoran desert? Then again, the miracle of summer rain, and your grandmother's song inside that song, and the tulips aching to be free, humming along.
Hmm.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I guess you probably don't have eucalyptus out there in Indiana.
No, we don't. We have a lot of maples.
We have a few of those. What elms in here? But those trees aren't really native to here. Here we have laurel trees, and eucalyptus aren't native. They're from Australia. Of course, we have redwoods, pines, firs.
I
Oh,
planted every tree in my on my property. I planted them all from saplings, and they now tower over the house.
oh yeah. I've got a few of those. I have an apricot tree I planted from a little guy. Now he's really big.
Mine were all volunteers from the flower bed.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "Oh, here you are. Let me replant you somewhere."
Yeah. I had a little oak seed itself out front, but I couldn't figure out where to put it.
I sent you another poem about trees, but you can read that next week.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. I've got a few tree poems. Let's see. Here's one by Thich Nhat Hanh. He's a Buddhist monk, but also a writer. Pretty good writer. This one's called Silence. The paper smells wonderful as I turn the pages of this ancient book. The The water in my glass smiles to me with crystal eyes. Suddenly, oceanic waves come up one after another with their foamy heads. A cold stone summons the fog up on the distant mountain where the wind is howling hard. I wake up. The tip of my tongue is frozen by the dewdrops that have been sent to me by a blade of grass on a late night. Light flashes across like the blade of a sword. Perhaps it is the beginning of a storm. Clouds rise very quickly from the east, urgently. The sound of the horns is calling. Where is my palm leaf raincoat of years ago? The winds are chasing after the leaves. The lines and strokes your brush used to make trace are brown. The color of your arm, the sweat that penetrates the rice field. In this moment, our planet is lost somewhere in the unknown, and the giant bird is shaking its wings in outer space. Space in puddles is splashing. Space is exploding. There is a sun struggling up and down in the ocean, like a giant fish with enormous red eyes. My telephoto lens is trying to catch the images of prehistory. Look, the door is just unlocked and the future is let free. For many lives, that door has prevented the future from fleeing. This morning on my way to the woods, through the singing of the bird, I know you are there, free, free on a green path. There are buds, flowers, and tiny leaves waving to space. The hand that holds the baton of the talented artist, conducts the world of sound. All sounds return to this one point of great silence, this point of great emptiness. There is too much light for a baby just entering life. I see now our grandmother with her hair tied behind her head in the form of an onion. She is sweeping bamboo leaves. She begins to gather the leaves into a pile and burn them. The smoke is rising, warming up the sky. The Buddha smiles behind a thin cloud. Tonight, the moon is full. Wow.
Beautiful.
That was nice. Wow, okay. Very seldom those kind of enlightened guys are that good a poet. Oh, wow, 6:30 already. Let's see. I'll read a Rilke. This is Rilke. You, darkness of whom I am born, I love you more than the flame that limits the world. To a circle it illumines and excludes all the rest. But the dark embraces everything, shapes and shadows, creatures and me, people, nations, just as they are. It lets us imagine a great presence stirring beside me. I believe in the night. Let's see. Let's do one Jane Kenyon. Camp Evergreen. The boats, like huge bright birds, sail back when someone calls them. The small campers struggle out and climb the hill to lunch. I see the last dawdler disappear in a ridge of trees. The whole valley sighs in the haze and heat of noon. Far out, a fish astonishes the air, falls back into its element. From the marshy cove, the bullfrog offers thoughts on the proper limits of ambition. That's quite a lot. Makes me laugh. From the marshy cove, the bullfrog offers thoughts on the proper limits of ambition. An hour passes, piano music comes floating over the water, falters, begins again, falters. Only work will make it right. Some small thing I can't quite see clatters down through the leafy dome. Now it's high summer, the solstice, longed for, possessed, luxurious, and sad.
Hmm.
All right. Zoom is telling me I'm running out of time. Let's read some Mary. At Black River, all day its dark, slick bronze soaks in a mossy place, its teeth in multitude set for the comedy that never comes, its tail knobbed and shiny, and with a heavy weight punch packed around the bone. In beautiful Florida, he is king of his own part of the Black River, and from his nap he will wake into the warm darkness to boom, thrust forward, paralyzing the swift, thin-waisted fish or bird in its frilled white gown that has dipped down from the heaven of leaves one last time to drink. Don't think I'm not afraid there is such an unleashing of horror. Then I remember death comes before the rolling away of the stone. Oh, that's a little change at the end. I guess
Mhm.
she's talking about an alligator, right? Okay. I forgot she lived in Florida at the end of her life. Snow geese. Oh, to love what is lovely and will not last. What a task to ask of anything or anyone. Yet it is ours, and not by the century or the year, but by the hours. One fall day I heard above me, and above the sting of the wind, a sound I did not know. My look shot upward. It was a flock of snow geese winging it faster than the ones we usually see, and being the color of snow catching the sun, or so they were, in part at least golden. I held my breath, as we do sometimes, to stop time when something wonderful has touched us, as with a match which is lit and bright but does not hurt in the common way, but delightfully, as if delight were the most serious thing you ever felt. That's quite a line. As if delight were the most serious thing you ever felt. The geese flew on. I have never seen them again. Maybe I will, someday, somewhere. Maybe I won't. It doesn't matter. What matters is that when I saw them as through the veil, secretly, joyfully, clearly. Yeah, I've never seen a snow geese. I've seen just the brown geese flying overhead in the V's.
Yeah, we have the black and white. I think they're called Canadian geese. We have them
Yeah,
around here.
I think that's what we have. We have some geese that just stay around all year. They don't even migrate anymore.
Yeah, that's what I think these do. This particular bunch, they brought their babies to start with, and their babies got grown up, and now they're all the same size, and they're all over the place.
Yeah, we have a lot of geese in our public parks and lakes. But once in a while, I do see them overhead flying in their V shape, going somewhere.
There's a lake across the street from me, and that's why they're always around here.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Well, my dear ones, I'm going to sign off for tonight.
Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you. Thank you for that lovely poem about your daughter, and thank you, Brenda and Barbara. And
Thank you, everyone. That was fun.
okay, Barbara and Julie will be well. You'll be hearing us on YouTube soon. And Ellen, wherever you are. Brenda says thank you, thank you. So great. That was wonderful. So have a great week, everybody. I'll see
See
you
you
next
next week.
see you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye.